everyone, welcome back to my channel motorvibe_110. It's back. The car that defined generations, turned heads across continents, and found its way into the hearts of millions has returned, but this time, it's evolved. The 2026 Volkswagen Super Beetle is not just a car. It's a legacy reborn, a cultural icon reimagined for a world that's moving faster than ever. And today, we're diving deep into everything that makes this new Beetle more than just a nod to the past. It's a bold step into the future. You remember the original Beetle, quirky, round, and simple. A post-war miracle that made driving accessible and fun for the masses. Then came the new Beetle in the late 90s and early 2000s, which brought back the retro charm with a modern twist. But now, in 2026, Volkswagen has done something extraordinary. They didn't just revive a shape, they reinvented a spirit. From the moment you lay eyes on the new Super Beetle, you realize this isn't just a redesign. It's a reinvention. The curves are still there, but they're sculpted with more purpose now. The silhouette pays homage to the original's iconic profile but adds muscle, stance, and authority. The headlights are now slim LED units with a distinctive circular halo, blending nostalgia with high-tech aggression. The front bumper is more angular, with functional air intakes that scream performance. And the rear, it's all about fluid motion, integrated LED light bars, a subtle spoiler lip, and wide hips that make this Beetle feel planted and serious. It rides on Volkswagen's MEB platform, which means it's fully electric. That's right, no more air-cooled flat fours or quirky diesel units. The Super Beetle is now whisper quiet, lightning fast, and clean. Under the floor, you've got a 77 kWh battery pack, and powering the wheels, either rear or all four depending on your trim, is a dual-motor setup that pushes out up to 320 horsepower. This isn't your grandma's Beetle. This is a 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds kind of car. And yes, there's a single-motor version too for those who prioritize range over raw power, giving you up to 310 miles on a single charge. Fast charging. Absolutely. Up to 175 kilowatts DC fast charging, meaning you can go from 10% to 80% in about 25 minutes if you find the right charger. Volkswagen is not playing games with the Super Beetle's practicality. Slip inside and it becomes even clearer. This is a future-forward cabin dressed in the spirit of retro charm. The dashboard stretches across in a clean, minimalist layout, but with playful details like color-matched panels and circular air vents. A massive 15-inch central touchscreen is your command center, powered by Volkswagen's latest infotainment software, snappy, intuitive, and fully customizable. And beside it, a fully digital instrument cluster that can be themed to look like vintage analog dials. A little nod to the past for those who know where this car came from. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, over-the-air updates, and integrated voice control that actually works. The seats are supportive and wrapped in a sustainable fabric that feels premium. Optional recycled leather trim is available for those who want the upscale touch. Heated and ventilated seats, ambient lighting with 30 color options, a 12-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, and even a panoramic roof that stretches from front to back. It's not just a commuter car, it's a vibe. And here's something special. The Super Beetle is one of the few EVs on the market that doesn't try to be something it's not. It doesn't chase Teslas or try to mimic hyper-minimalist designs. It embraces its heritage. You'll find small Easter eggs throughout the cabin, a tiny Beetle silhouette stamped into the door trim, a flower vase option like in the new Beetle days. And even customizable horn sounds, including the original's iconic, meep meep. On the road, the 2026 Super Beetle is balanced and composed. The MEB platform keeps the center of gravity low, which means it corners better than any Beetle before it. The steering is precise, with a nice weight to it. In rear-wheel drive form, it feels lively and responsive. In all-wheel drive guise, it's confident, almost sporty. You won't confuse it for a GTI, but that's not the point. This car is about enjoyment, character, and presence. Regenerative braking is adjustable through paddle shifters, so you can dial in the level of one-pedal driving you want. And thanks to its compact dimensions, it's still a joy to drive in tight city streets. Parking. A breeze, especially with standard front and rear sensors and the optional 360-degree camera system. And then there's the ride quality. Volkswagen has tuned the suspension for comfort without making it floaty. It absorbs potholes with grace and glides over rough pavement with ease. This isn't a car that punishes you for daily driving. It invites you in, every time you step behind the wheel. Let's talk trims. The base model is called the Urban, and it starts with the single motor setup, 18-inch wheels, cloth seats, and all the essentials. Then you move up to the Heritage trim, which adds more retro design elements, upgraded materials, and some extra tech. The top tier is the R-Line, and that's where things get really exciting. Dual motors, sportier suspension, 20-inch wheels, and a more aggressive exterior kit. And yes, there's even talk of a limited production Super Beetle GTX in the works. Think performance-tuned, track-ready, and visually wild. Volkswagen didn't just bring back the Beetle for nostalgia. They brought it back to make a statement. That a car can be fun, emotional, connected to its history, and still be a forward-thinking EV. That electric doesn't have to mean sterile or soulless. The 2026 Super Beetle has soul. You can feel it when you drive it, when you see it parked on the street, when you open the door and hear the playful startup chime that mimics the old Beetle engine turning over. It's hard to describe the emotional connection some people have to this nameplate. Maybe it was your first car. Maybe it was the car your parents had when you were a kid. Maybe it's the one you saw in movies and dreamed of owning one day. The Beetle is more than just a machine. It's a memory, a feeling, and now, it's a movement. Volkswagen is planning to launch the Super Beetle in select markets first, Europe, North America, and parts of Asia. And unlike some past efforts, they're going all in. There's already talk of regional customization options, allowing buyers to spec colors and trims inspired by different decades. Imagine a 60s-themed Beetle with psychedelic patterns and flower decals straight from the factory. Or an 80s spec with bold stripes and metallic paint. And here's the best part, pricing starts around $34,000. That's right. For a fully electric, beautifully designed, emotionally rich vehicle, Volkswagen is keeping it accessible. Even the high-spec R-Line comes in under $48,000, making it one of the most character-packed EVs in that price range. And with federal tax incentives or local EV credits, that price could drop even further. From a safety standpoint, the Super Beetle comes loaded. Standard autonomous emergency braking, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and even Volkswagen's Travel Assist semi-autonomous driving system. You're not just driving in style, you're driving with peace of mind. There's a reason this car stands out. In a world flooded with SUVs, crossovers, and lookalike sedans, the Super Beetle dares to be different. It doesn't care about fitting into the mold. It celebrates individuality. It brings color and personality back to the road. It's the car that turns heads, starts conversations, and makes you smile every time you catch a glimpse of it in a parking lot. And that's the magic of the 2026 Volkswagen Super Beetle. It's not the fastest, it's not the most advanced, and it's definitely not the biggest. But it's got more character in its headlights than some cars have in their entire design. It invites you to be yourself. To enjoy the ride. To remember where we came from, and where we're headed. Volkswagen knew they had to get this one right. And they did. Because sometimes, a car isn't just about transportation. Sometimes, it's about joy. About heritage. About standing out and being proud of it. The Super Beetle is a testament to that philosophy. So, the question is, are you ready to experience the rebirth of a legend? Are you ready to feel something again behind the wheel? Are you ready to be part of a movement that honors the past while driving into the future? Because the 2026 Volkswagen Super Beetle is waiting. And it's not just a car. It's a revolution with 4 wheels, electric power, and a whole lot of soul. Let me know if you'd like the script formatted for voiceover pacing or broken into sections for a visual storyboard.